We're always fresh and a little bit sticky. Keep it down, cannabis wiki. We're always fresh and a little bit sticky. The green room on cannabis wiki.
And I love that intro, man. That's great. Derek, I'm excited for our next interview.
Yeah, me too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Who do we got?
We got Travis from Ghost Drops. They're killing it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Like, tell me about it. The last 3 or 4 interviews that we've done on the Green Room, when we have been asked, what is our favorite weed? What do we say?
Ghost Drops.
Ghost Drops, Khalifa Mints.
Yes.
Hey, Travis, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
I'm glad.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah. So, how's Ghost Drops treating you?
Amazing. Love it right now. You know, it's a transition into the legal world is different, but it's exciting and a lot of exciting times in the future.
Yeah, Ghost Drops. Can you give us a little tiny history of Ghost Drops? Your little tiny backstory?
I mean, you know,
Basement garage to
yeah, we've always been selling, right? Like I think in the legacy market, most people come from like a background where we sold drugs, right? So it was really putting a brand behind it. You know, in 2016, 17, we really just wanted to start a brand. We've seen a lot of gaps that were happening in the market, a lot of transparency that needed to happen. Ground level people not getting the recognition they deserve. A lot of people just trying to take credit for other people's work, and no one really building like a sense of community within their brand. So that was really our main goal, was to take our brand, take the people that are around the community, put the spotlight on them. We didn't need to take everything. You know what I mean? Like blowing out someone else's candle doesn't make yours shine brighter. So that was a kind of our model. We wanted to take our platform and spotlight the people that are on the ground level and help them build brands so they can continue to, move forward into the legal market themselves. So that's really it,
community. Right? I heard that. You hear that, Derek?
Yeah, I love it.
Like,
yeah, I was looking at on your website, and I love the approach of, empowering the micros and kind of, hunting for the best strains. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, which part?
The part of, kind of bringing in the new, like I think, we interviewed Canna Cabana yesterday, and they were saying like, even on like powerful strains, the people will usually only buy it 2.3 times. And then they'll maybe stay in the same family. So it's like, I feel like the way that you guys are taking it of bringing in these new powerful strains that nobody else has, is that the trajectory that you guys are going to continue going down?
I think it's, obviously we're always going to be bringing in legacy genetic stuff. We have a good genetic data bank, that we've kind of accumulated from being in the legacy market and working with a lot of the legacy cultivators and everything. So, it's just about bringing good genetics to market, making sure everything just hits every check mark. A lot of people are really hunting and just kind of gunning for high THC and high terp profiles, but there's a lot more to that. You can have high THC, it can burn like shit, it can taste like shit, it can. Am I allowed to swear?
Of course, you can swear.
You're in the green room.
Okay, I guess
you don't even have to
I'm already
wear clothes,
in the deep end before I
Travis.
ask that question, right? But that's really it. Just making sure everything checks every box. I'm a smoker, right? So like for me to put something else with my name on it, I want to make sure I enjoy smoking. I want to make sure that you're going to enjoy smoking. It's got to have the taste that hits the whole way through the smoke. Stuff can look good and not smoke good. Stuff can smoke good and not look good. It goes all ways around. So we just try to find something that hits every check of the box, makes the consumer happy that they're purchasing it, and gives you obviously a good smoke when you smoke it. That's the most important part of it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely the 3 strains that you release, they're hidden on all angles. I mean, the proof is in the numbers, and that it's sold out everywhere. So, great job.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've been interested in smoking and enjoying some Ghost Drops for like 4.5 years.
Legacy
So
side,
yeah, I'm really excited that you guys are here now. And your NFT play, like adding that.
Yeah, that'll be coming soon.
Coming
Yeah,
soon.
coming
That's
soon.
like how smart is you guys are developing this brand story that much like, I don't know, I'm comparing it to Starbucks. I mean, you just see the packaging or you see a label or you see something, you're like, oh, I know that's Ghost Drop. We got to have that next drop. We got to have that. People, as we were talking about yesterday, our conversation was they say 2.3 times you're going to buy the same thing. I don't think Ghost Drops is in that category. I think that people are falling for not just what your latest drop, but like they're falling for the whole story, the narrative behind it all, the legacy to legal.
Well, you're supporting people that really got it from the mud. Like we started with a pack. How many people in the LP side can really say that with their brand? Like started with a pound and built it up from there. Like, that's where we started. We are, where the culture was. We're trying to kick the doors down for the rest of the people to have a way in because, the way the industry went when it first turned legal, it's not like they came to knocking on every drug dealer's house, seeing if everyone wanted a job. It was really if you had funding and backing and all this stuff. So a lot of good people, valuable people were left behind on that rush. You know what I mean? So us being able to do what we're doing, we're just trying to kick the door down and make sure everybody got a seat at the table if you deserve it. And I think a lot of people respect that and want to follow that. We're not taking a selfish side. Every single one of our jars got the name of the legacy cultivator that we got the cut from so we can help build their brand enough to them have leverage to where they can enter the legal market. We don't want to, leave people just down and out and just us go alone,
I love it since talking to you guys and since going to your headquarters and meeting everyone. A lot of your like growers and people have reached out to me and say, "What'd you think of it?" And they're so proud of what they're doing. The pride, like I've had guys walk around with their camera going, "Look what we're doing! Look at how fire this is!" Like, and they're so excited. And when I think about good cannabis community and culture, these people love it from the second it's from seed to sale. They're in love with that product. And they take it personal and it's really, like they have such pride in it. I love that. And I know there's like, obviously, there's always hate. There's always going to be haters for the good shit you're doing. And that's just part of the game, right? People don't hate losers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. And, the more they talk, the more they build the brand, right? So for us, it's really like, going into the legal market, like, why would you change your team when you make it to the playoffs? And that's really why we're trying to just bring all the legacy people with us. We're not trying to just come in and build a new team of everyone that's in the legal side. We're really trying to bring a lot of people into market that can help bring the Canadian cannabis to what we all envisioned it to be. When you go down to America right now, like I'm in California half the year, nobody's asking about Canadian brands. And I'm not going to name people to like, shit on them or anything, but no one's asking for the big no one's asking for the big LPs. You're not going down there and people are like, "Hey, have you had this, this or this?"
Do you have any tweed or canopy there?
It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So Canada's needed a brand that they can get behind, people that actually have like morale and integrity and, not operating on a cost per gram basis. We're operating on a quality basis. Like that's really what it is. We need people that want to do this for the right reasons and not looking at it just as financial incentive. And I think that's what Ghost Drops has always been. We're the people that, put a lot of the money we made back into marketing, building other people and kind of doing what we can to build this culture into what it is. And we need to build it as a culture and a community because that's really what it is. And people not harnessing that has been what's holding us back. It's been this fight where everyone's trying to take food off each other's table and off each other's plate. And it don't need to be that way. It's a community, it's a culture. It's, there's no one company that can serve every single person in Canada. So there's a lot of room at the table and we just got to make sure that we're all playing right.
A lot of room at that table. So Ghost Drops doesn't stay on the table or the shelves very long, I hear. Like, oh, we're bringing in some Ghost Drops. Yes. What do you got there, Derek? What do you got?
I got some of the Ghost Drops here.
The splitter and the funk. Is it both splitter? Yeah, no, the splitter and the funk.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Honestly,
personal?
Yeah, funk has been my longtime favorite for like 5 years, but I think splitter's just been taking it recently. I love the candy profile, the Skittles profile with the Atom Splitter cross. It's just got a really candy profile. It really comes through all the way to the end of the smoke. And funk is just, I always explain it to people. It's like GMO and gelato on steroids. It is, it's just got a really funky smell. It's super unique. Both of them are super unique. They're both cuts have won several awards worldwide. So, that's one of the main reasons we wanted to bring these ones to market. It's real award-winning cuts, Karma Cup winning cuts, cuts that have won awards in Spanibus and all sorts of cool, cultivating competitions.
Karma Cup.
That's our culture. You know what I mean? Like these are the strains that have represented our culture internationally when we do cultivation stuff. Like these are the strains that Canadians got to get behind and be proud of. I'm not saying you got to get behind, but that we should have when they were out representing our country, when a lot of the country wasn't paying attention to it, when these paths were being built for us to be where we were and where we are today, So, yeah, these are, I guess, in my eyes, were our first hype strains, right? Canada's first, hype strains that had, a real brand behind them and stuff like that. I feel like funk was really that.
Funk.
anytime we did it on the
First
legacy
class
side,
funk.
it sold quicker than it did on the legal side. You know,
Wow.
it's always sold that quick, man. But it lives up to its name, right?
So what's the process to, so you bring 3 strains in. What's the process to pick what the next strain is? Because you're working with so many great growers, and everybody probably wants theirs to be next. But like, do you have like a committee, or like, how do you test to figure out, hey, okay, we're gonna bring in these 3 next?
Everything's about timing, again, cleaning genetics, bringing them in through, getting the tissue culture and everything going like that. So a lot of things are really dependent on what it can be ready, what you can scale in that time. We grew quick.
Right.
It wasn't like we just served one province and a small province. Like our POs were pretty big. So, we had to make sure that we could scale to that moment. And I think having a strain that is vigorous and that you can put in all these different rooms that's going to perform. It's not going to, it's resilient to molds. It's resilient to all these different things. So there's a lot to take in consideration. You just got to, again, check all the boxes, make sure it's the right one to go forward to. And I think that's what our team is really good at. We got it all the way down to seed to sale. I think, we got a good team checking all the boxes all the way through. And it's not just us. We have other people. Like I said, these cuts come from Cultivating Happiness, who's someone on the legacy side who I've grown with over the years that in my eyes is a legend. He's, one of the best pheno hunters this country's had. So it's not just like, hey, I'm sitting at a table picking it. It's like you said, almost like a committee of people choosing what is the best to go out and represent this, and what is the best smoke that everybody will want to have and want to smoke and everything like that, that people will be excited about. It's not just about the hype strains, the hype names, it's just really about the good smoke and having good stuff.
That's it. We've,
Finally, fuck yeah! This is our soundbite. Finally,
we've been waiting for
116 interviews later. Travis drops some first class funk from Ghost Drops. Fuck.
So how does your partner, Mother Labs, like what role do they play?
Yeah, so they're, so in future, they're going to be providing a lot of genetics and stuff like that for us. And they're really just helping us scale, they clean all the genetics and everything like that. Cultivating Happiness is, an employee there. He works with them. So, that's really what built the relationship with us and Mother Labs was just, me and Elmer have known each other for a long time, way back in the legacy days. They're all legacy guys themselves. And we're all just like-minded people. I think we all got our eyes on the same prize, which is just putting out fire, and making sure we find the best that we can to represent our country. Right now, we're at a time where a lot of people are paying attention to Canada and the cannabis scene up here. We got to be having stuff going out that's representing us properly, not just trying to be a race to the bottom and, the cheapest product we can get. Like, someone's got to be like, okay, race to the best product we can get, So that's really our MO. Other people can race to the bottom. We want to race to be the best. We want to race to have the best product and make sure that what you are taking in your body is the best out there, the cleanest out there, and that's important to me. And I hope it's important to everyone that's smoking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Sam and the guys at Sticky Nugs always, they're always looking to curate the best product and,
Definitely supporting legacy to legal. That's
Exactly.
what it's Sticky Nugs family owned business
That's
brand,
what's up, man.
and they were super excited to get the Ghost Drops when their delivery was coming in. They're sending me pictures that it was coming, and they got it. And then when I told them you were gonna stop by, they're super pumped for you to be here because they love Ghost Drops.
Shout out Sticky Nugs.
Yeah. So Travis, do you ever talk about like your personal life or anything, or do you talk about who you are or what you like? I mean, obviously, I can feel a beat and a groove while you're talking. So tell us a little bit about you. So who's Travis? Because I think you have an alias.
Yeah, obviously before the cannabis world. I mean, I've always been involved in cannabis. I think like even my hip hop alias is synonymous with what I do. But obviously I go by Organic. I run King of the Dot, which is the world's premier hip hop battle league. It's almost 15 years old now, making me sound old when I say that. I started as a young kid, almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube. We're worldwide now. Events in London, all across America. So, right now we're in the middle of a full season of battle rap. I'm in Las Vegas in 2 weeks to give away $100,000. So,
Nice.
yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff happening outside of the cannabis scene as well. Curate a lot of culture in the hip hop space.
I love it.
So will you have some of those battle rappers be ambassadors, advisors maybe to Ghost Drops?
Okay, wait a second. I'm
I don't know
interrupting.
if Canada can even allow that. So.
Because Travis came on today, I had already made a mental note. I was putting a ghost drop. I'm getting a ghost tattoo to thank him for
let's
coming
go.
here.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
I already
Nice.
reached
I like
out to
that.
my guy,
I like
and
that.
I was like, if he shows, we are getting a ghost. I'm getting a ghost.
So for
So
real,
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I promise. No,
Let's go.
They'll hold me to it. You can keep it on your million
It's on
subscribers.
camera, so it's on camera.
Yeah,
It's gotta happen now.
I'll be wearing a
Yeah.
ghost. Yeah, she's fucking crazy. I'm like, we could talk to you for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
What is the next thing that you can share? Next big thing for Ghost Drops.
Obviously, we got, the Khalifa mints is dropping. We just did the pre-roll, so obviously we're going to have full scoops coming out of that, We got a lot of news coming out. I can't jump the gun and beat the press release,
Right.
you know what I mean? But unfortunately, I did try to beat the press release because we tried to schedule this for after, but we got a lot of stuff being announced in the next couple of weeks. We're staying busy. We're growing. We're trying to, cultivate this culture that is the cannabis culture, and we're just trying to, do what's proper and what's right and what's needed in this scene. I think, people need people to do the right thing and move with integrity and morale in this culture, and that's really what we're trying to do.
I think you're a phenomenal brand business ambassador for Canadian cannabis. I mean, from hip hop culture, from legacy to legal, seed to sale, all those buzz newsworthy, that's who, but the real deal, like it's the real shit. Like that's where we at Cannabis Wiki have thought for the last 4 years that there's like something missing here.
Right.
What's going on here? Where's the culture? I know we sit down and brainstorm and do team meetings or whatever, and then we're like, Ghost Drops, they hit it, they did it. And then when we heard about the little NFT play, well, not little, it's going to be a big deal, that this is like, crypto and NFTs and just even like the packaging
Pop
and the
culture.
color and pushing a little bit of boundaries and a little bit of limits and
Right.
whatever. Yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, hip hop and culture, pop culture.
Yeah, because before you dropped, we were always saying, when's the burner of Canada going to come, Like where it's, they got popular, they're in the culture, music, that sort of thing. And we feel like, Ghost Drops, when they hit, we were just so excited about it because it's like, okay, you got fire product, but it's also, a great brand.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
brand story. And we
Definitely
know how hard it
appreciate
is
that.
to market and brand in Canada. It's really difficult compliance and to, use your celebrity. But you're part of the group. You're the family. You are Ghost Drops.
And that's the thing too, right? Like in the legacy side, I didn't let anybody know it was me. Obviously, I'm not trying to
Right.
go out there and get arrested, right?
Right.
But so we built this for 5 years without anybody knowing it was me. I didn't promote it and use like my means of promotion to push it because I didn't want to just put a red flag and say, hey,
Right.
come over here, it's this guy, But, now that it's out there and stuff like that, gradually we'll start, seeing. And once summer comes around, COVID ends, we can start doing some cool stuff to bring culture up here. Canada and Toronto is a hotspot. It should be a hotspot in the world for cannabis. Like we're nationally legal. There's no reason why the biggest festivals aren't happening here at the moment. Why why the whole culture of cannabis across the world isn't focused on here. Like this country, we have it nationally legal. It's not just provincial wide. It's nationally. You know what I mean? Like that is a big deal. So we gotta just do our work and do our due diligence and make sure the world knows that this is where it's at.
Yeah. How do we get our Ghost Drops? Do you guys how do you tell us, our listeners, where do we find Ghost Drops?
Hopefully at a dispensary near you if they're not sold out, right? But,
And ghostdrops.com?
ghostdrops.com, the website. We're going to have lots of merch. We're going to have lots of stuff. Lots of cool announcements coming soon. Again, we just hit market in December. I know a lot of people think we've been around for a long time, but we're in the black market back in June, so it's been a quick ride. It's been a roller coaster. It's been exciting, but it's been happening really quick. We got to, take one step at a time and make sure we just hit everything right. But honestly, I got an amazing team. Our whole team is superstars. Like literally, one domino falls, the whole thing goes, right? So we're all holding each other down. We've been working together for a long time, and every single person is just absolutely crushing it. It is not a one-person ordeal, one-person pat on the back. It's really a team thing, and that's what makes us who we are. We're a team of young people. We have our eyes on the prize. We feel like we know what is needed, and we want to go out and just work to make it happen. We're not scared to work. We're not scared to put ourselves out there, and not scared to represent ourselves either. So excited for it, yeah.
Well, Jackie, I know the number one place to get Ghost Drops is at Sticky Nugs.
Yeah, there you go. Travis, thank you so much for
Approved.
joining us at
Thank
Sticky
y'all.
Nugs for our first one. Derek, it was great, eh?
Yeah,
Good talk.
it was
Travis,
great.
Ghost Drops,
Yeah.
our
Thank you,
first
guys. I
interview,
appreciate y'all.
kicking off
Thanks for
our
stopping by.
residency at Sticky Nugs. Thanks so much for joining us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Well, we are live from Sticky Nugs, one of the most beautiful dispensaries I've seen. And we're happy to be guests here at Sticky Nugs.
Yeah, we're kicking off our residency.
Thanks so much for having me, and we are so happy to have you guys here and be a part of this amazing journey. This is a family-run business, so I would say about maybe 15 to 20 years ago, maybe when I was a kid, my dad had this amazing, passionate idea of getting into the cannabis industry. It was so funny. I remember going into the garage and seeing him with this grid paper and had it all written out, and even the name and everything. And you always think, you know what? Hopefully one day cannabis can get to that point, but you never know, right? And I thought, you know what? Why not get into the family business and run this dream together? Because I just have such a passion about cannabis as well.
Yeah,
Already started, right?
Let's kick this
Get
up.
the ball rolling.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining us in the green room.
Nice.